WXII 12 News. This is breaking news.
Breaking news at 5 o'clock. A curfew imposed in Minneapolis as more protests broke out just hours after a former officer is charged with murder.
That curfew goes into effect at 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll talk more about the charges and the protests and everything else that's going on there in just a few minutes. I want to start though with the weather and a chance for thunderstorms for a good portion of the Piedmont Triad later tonight. Some people have already seen rain heavy at times this afternoon.
And peaks of sunshine, as you see there in Mount Airy as well. Meteorologist Michelle Kennedy is keeping a very close eye on a line of storms. Could we see more later on this evening and into the weekend, Michelle?
Is that things are changing, and so with that we've got shower and thunderstorm chances that'll drop off, but we still have this nice little line of showers that are out there from Wilkesboro as we go south. So flood concerns are still with us at least for another several hours for folks along the Yadkin River as well. We've got more heavy rain threats. We are not dropped yet from that marginal risk area, but I expect that to be shifting east as we go into the next few hours. We are seeing though these rounds of heavy rain potentially bring in some more downpours for us. And take a look at just area wide within the last 5 days what we've seen. Some 4-inch totals as we've gone up into sections of the mountains from areas like Ennis and parts of those sections of Rockingham and Stokes counties kind of nestled in there with some heavier rains and then lighter rains in the eastern Piedmont. So a lot of folks have missed out. More rain though moving into the Halls Mill area, Patton's Ridge. You can see those showers there and starting to lift out now from the Asheboro, Randolph County and southern Alamance County region, but a few moderate showers for you. Evening temperatures dropping it down into the mid 70s after a day of some 80s, and we expect to see those showers and thunderstorms again for the next couple of hours. There's still a threat of an isolated severe storm. Most of that energy has already worked out though over the southeastern Piedmont. We have a great forecast over the next few days, and you can see sunshine as it develops for us heading into Sunday. It's going to be one of those beautiful spring-like days before we officially start summer later in June. We will enjoy the less humid air too. We'll have much more for you coming up, and we'll have more on the rain that's moving in for you now.
Michelle, thank you. Happening now, the former police officer seen on video pressing his knee into George Floyd's neck while he was handcuffed is now charged with murder and manslaughter. The video is sparking protests all over the country this week, some of which have turned violent. Fires, people hit by cars, and looting. Now the county attorney there says that officer is facing third-degree murder charges, among others, in Mr. Floyd's death. Sally Kidd is in our nation's capital tonight with the president's reaction to this violence.
The county attorney says additional arrests could follow. 3 other officers were involved in Floyd's arrest, and the Justice Department is also investigating. Fired Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin arrested in the death of George Floyd. Witness video shows the officer kneeling on Floyd's neck as he lay handcuffed on the ground. Fiery protests continued last night, including the torching of a Minneapolis police precinct, the governor calling in the National Guard.
The fires still smolder in our streets. The ashes are symbolic of decades and generations of pain, of anguish.
Protests also erupting in Louisville, Columbus, and Denver.
We are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency.
President Trump in tweets overnight called the protesters thugs, adding, "Any difficulty and we will assume control. But when the looting starts, the shooting starts." Twitter flagging the tweet for violating its rules on glorifying violence.
I hope the president will retract that statement. During these times, we can condemn violence while also trying to listen.
U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr says the Justice Department is conducting its own investigation to determine whether any federal civil rights laws were violated. Well, Chauvin faces charges of third-degree murder and manslaughter. Reporting from Washington, I'm Sally Kidd.
Sally, thank you. The president tweeted again just moments ago to clarify his earlier comments, saying looting leads to shooting. That's why a man was shot and killed in Minneapolis Wednesday night, or in Louisville, where 7 people were shot. The president says he does not want this to happen, and that's what that expression meant.
Law enforcement leaders in the Triad are weighing in on the unrest across the country. Forsyth County Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough says anyone who law enforcement encounters deserves compassion, respect, and empathy.
That one-man action he took away from everybody that wears a badge, whether it's a local, state, or federal badge. He took away of everything that I get up and do every day to build community credibility.
The actions and inactions of the officers involved are in contrast with the values of both our department, the profession, and humanity as a whole.
And both Winston-Salem Police Chief Katrina Thompson and Forsyth County Sheriff Forsyth County Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough says that they are working tirelessly to make sure that what happened in Minnesota does not happen here. Both say they will not tolerate injustice.
New calls to do more in the wake of Mr. Floyd's death just aren't echoed by men and women in uniform either. Our Justin Schreier is live tonight in the city of Winston-Salem after speaking with an associate professor of justice studies at WSSU. Justin.
And that associate professor tells me tonight that in order for things to change, people need to stand up to injustice. Dr. Jack Monell, a criminologist at Winston-Salem State University, says he was angry and frustrated when he saw what happened to George Floyd in Minneapolis.
I was hurt, sadly not surprised, because as you and I both know, this is not a new phenomenon. You know, we're seeing occurrences like this more so now because of the platforms we are afforded.
Monell, an associate professor of justice studies, says he works with social justice issues that impact communities on the local, state, and federal level. He says in order to make sure something like this doesn't happen again, a lot needs to be done.
We have to do better on the front end with recruitment and continue. And I know this is oftentimes, we beat this over the head. We have to continue to work towards community policing and working to bridge those relationships.
Monell says that also includes holding people accountable for their actions. And in this case, he says,
we need to hold the officers accountable. And this is the equitable application of justice, which unfortunately was never intended to benefit the African-American community.
Monell says the entire community should respond when they see an injustice and says change will only happen if people stand together as one.
There's more power in a collective effort than one or two people, speaking out against some sort of injustice.
And he believes those riots and looting will diminish if those injustices are addressed. Live in Winston-Salem tonight, Justin Schreier, WXII 12 News.
Governor Roy Cooper says that the state will work with the Republican National Convention to ensure that it can be held safely. The RNC sent a letter to the governor listing requirements to hold an in-person convention in Charlotte in August, including pre-travel health surveys, daily health questionnaires delivered through an app, and thermal scans of all attendees. Crowd limitations and mask requirements were not mentioned. President Donald Trump threatened to pull the convention from the Queen City if full attendance was not allowed. 72,000 people were expected to visit the Queen City for the convention. That number was prior to COVID-19.
Well, we are now 1 full week to the minute into phase 2 of North Carolina's 3-phase reopening. Bars and gyms are the primary businesses that remain closed right now. Today, the state set a record, its second highest day-over-day count of new positive tests. Over 1,000 new people have COVID-19. We do not yet know if these cases are tied to phase 2. We also tested a record number of people from yesterday to today. Health Secretary Mandy Cohen wants to remind everyone that new cases are expected as testing continues to increase. Again, today was a record for new tests taken. 2 Triad counties are reporting 11 new deaths combined. A total of 8 people died in Guilford County from COVID-19. Forsyth County reporting another 3 deaths since yesterday. So far, 859 people have lost their lives as a result of COVID-19 in North Carolina. For a full county-by-county breakdown, head to our website, WXII12.com.